everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. And it's Thursday night, and every other Thursday night I come on and do a mystery challenge. So one Thursday I do a technique, and the alternating Thursday I do a mystery challenge. And so I always post the mystery, what the clue is, at about 9-10 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday morning when I'm going to do this. And I post it on my Facebook group page and also Instagram so that you can be ready and to play along. And so tonight we're doing a picture challenge. And I think I said on Tuesday night that sometimes people find these hard. And in some ways, I think we overthink them when we're finding them difficult. So I found a picture of a bird. There are all sorts of ways you could do this. So it's a bird on a branch with green background. And so when you're looking at a picture challenge, you can look at it from the layout. Hey, Nancy. You can look at it from the colors. You could look at it from the images. And so I'm going to be a little bit literal tonight in that I am using one of the new bundles from the mini catalog that goes live next Friday called Perched in a Tree. And I really love this one. Hey, Lynette. It's got a bird image. It's got some great dies that I'll show you. So I'm being pretty literal with this in that I'm going to stamp a bird, color it, and I'm going to put it on some trees, and I'm using evening evergreen. You don't have to be as literal as I am. You could just use that. Use the sketch to see green and maybe some brown, or maybe you just want to use a layout. So let me switch over to my desktop and I'll show you what I mean by some of the different ways to interpret. All right. So here's the picture that I shared. As I said, it is literally a bird on a branch with a green background. So you can imagine that's in the trees. So I am going to use the Perched in a Tree with this amazing bird. And with these, now they're going to be hard to see. This is an amazing set of dies. So this one cuts out a tree kind of background. So I'm going to do that, and I'm using evening evergreen. So mine's going to be green. There are other dies in this suite. There is a branch I could use, for example. And I'm going to cut my bird out, and then there are some leaf backgrounds, I guess it is, or leaf shapes that you can cut out. I really love this suite. This bird I think will be so pretty, and there's a bit of splatter and some great sentiments. Doesn't have to be for, can be, I guess, wishing you abundant joy and peace. I guess that could be for the holiday season. No matter what the season, I'm here for you. Let heaven and nature sing. So I guess it could be for the holidays, but I don't think it has to be for the holidays. All right, so that I'm going to be quite literal, but if you wanted to, for example, make a card and just have it so that I could see a piece of cardstock with a layer mimicking the tree, and then a circle or a shape on it, and it could be quite simple. So lots of ways that you can interpret pictures. Hello, Kay, welcome. Glad you could join. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. So when you see pictures, sometimes I actually save pictures because they give me ideas of what I can do for a card, whether it's a sketch. Sometimes I'll take a picture. So if I see something when I'm out, I will take a picture and then save it. So I've got that as an image. So don't be afraid of these picture challenges. Don't be afraid of taking pictures and using them, or looking at pictures and using them as ideas. All right, so let's get started. So I've got a piece of evening evergreen. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and of course I'm scoring it at 5 1/2. So I did post that sketch. Yes, I did post the picture earlier, so you will have this to play along with. And don't forget, if you're part of my Facebook group, to share your cards, because at the end of the month, and the end of the month is coming up quick, I will be doing a draw and we'll send some people some happy mail. All right, so 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and then I folded it on the score line. I always fold into the mountain or into the raised line that I created when I scored. I've got another piece of evening evergreen that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I am going to take, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Try not to drop all the plates on the floor as I bring it in. There we go. So I've got my plates. Now I'm going to put this down. This is my piece 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put this piece, this die, fits perfectly. So I'm just going to try and make sure it's kind of lined up. The trees are straightish, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll see. Looks like it's kind of even side to side and top to bottom. And I'm going to run this through. When I saw this die, it's so much fun to be able to cut out. Look at this. All right, let's get rid of all these bits. All right, there we go. I'm going to need this in a minute when I stamp my bird, but I'll bring it back. All right, so if I take this somewhere, I don't have my foam that comes with this brush. It would work better if I actually had the foam mat that you can use. But isn't this fun to be able to create this great background of all of these trees? Now I cut a piece. This is basic white. I've cut the basic white 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to have white in the background. You could do some sponging or some using your blending brushes to create a great background. I didn't really think about that until just now. So that's going to go on like that. I think I'm going to pop it up. So first of all, let's take and just use some Stampin' Seal. You could use your liquid glue if you wanted to adhere this on. Now, let's see if I can align this up. I'm probably going to trim this a little bit because I think my basic white is going to show. I've got a bit there that didn't come out. There we go. All right, I think my basic white, oh, maybe not actually, now that oh yeah, I'm going to just take and trim. So if you adhere it on and then you find that you've got a little bit of your white or whatever background color is showing through, you can just take and trim that off with your paper snips. And that's showing just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop this, not those ones. There we go, the big ones. So let's pop this piece up. And a couple in the middle, just because I don't like the middle to sag when it's such a big piece. I try not to use too many dimensionals, but sometimes I use more. Oops, don't want to put it upside down. All right, so that can go on there. Let's see if I can get this on a little straighter. There we go. That's better. All right. Isn't that fun? Just such a pretty background. Now you can imagine now, okay, you probably don't celebrate Halloween, but can you imagine this in these trees? They kind of look spooky in black. It would be a fun Halloween card. All right. I don't do much with Halloween, but it just caught as I was looking at it. Now I'm going to, where's my bird? This is a rubber stamp. And it is, the images are 95%. So these stamps are bigger than what the images are on the front. All right, I'm going to stamp this in Tuxedo Black Memento because I'm going to do some coloring with my blends. There we go. That's kind of a cute bird. All right. Probably should be on that branch, but I don't have a piece of... all right, well, we're not going to do that. So I brought some blends in. I brought Crumb Cake, Evening Evergreen, and Pale Papaya, and then I've got the Colored Lifter because I'm going to try and pick up some of the color. So I'm going to, as always, when I do coloring, I go in with the lightest of the colors first and kind of do an overall image. I'm using the light Crumb Cake, and I'm going to kind of color the bird all over. I'm not going to do the eye, go around the eye. This bird is great because there's actually lines on here. So from being able to blend the colors, you can just follow the lines that the concept artist that designed this stamp set has given you. All right, I'm not going to do the beak because I'm going to use that for Pale Papaya. So now I'm going to go in with my darker Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to kind of lay some color in on the tail feathers and where they've got lines. So just kind of looks like it's, you know, little ruffles of feathers. A little bit on the forehead. And then go back and just do some blending. So it kind of take away some of those, you know, obvious lines. I mean, I use my light a lot, so I always, the ink on my light runs out much sooner than my dark of the Stampin' Blends. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to add in, let's see, this feels like it's going to be awfully, well, maybe let's just add a little bit of, this is the light of the Evening Evergreen. So let's just add some green onto the body. And I'm also going to, let's see, let's do the beak in Pale Papaya. And I'm just going to add a little bit of Pale Papaya in under here as well, just to give him some color. Otherwise it would be a pretty plain bird. So we'll make him a pretty bird with the Evening Evergreen. And now I'm just going to kind of go over this again with the light. So it's, you don't always have to use the same color. Some people think that when you've got the two colors, the two shades of, you know, the light and dark of your Stampin' Blends, that you should always use those colors together. But you can actually mix the colors. I'm going to go back over and do some more Pale Papaya. Actually, I think I'm going to do the dark Pale Papaya because it's, I'll put some Pale Papaya in. There we go. All right. I think that's pretty good. All right, now I'm going to cut this out using this die. Get it going right now. I'm just going to take a little bit of my Post-it note tape to hold this when I'm, oh, I forgot to do the feet. So we'll do those when we've got it. So I'm just going to take, I've got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Let's put both of them to a workout tonight. this out. There we go. So yeah, you can use a Post-it note tape or washi tape or a Post-it note itself, whatever you can hold it down with. All right, now let's, this is the dark. I'm just gonna take and do the, oops, not with that one. I want my fine tip. So we'll just do the feet in brown or crumb cake. All right, now I don't like the white around this, so I'm just gonna go around the whole bird in and just kind of soften it. Sometimes the dies cut and leave a bit of an edge, so I'm just going to take and do the whole thing in crumb cake just to try and take that edge away. All right, so there's that. Now I do need a sentiment, so let's figure out what sentiment. How about this one that says, "Your kindness warms my heart." Is that it? Your kindness, that's it. It's quite a big one. We'll see how this goes. First time I've used this bundle. So you will be able to order this bundle in the new catalog starting next Friday, or in Australia next Thursday, I guess, because you're ahead of us. You're in the future. All right, I'm going to fussy cut. So we'll just take your paper snips and I'm just going to fussy cut around my sentiment. There we go. Now, I used the last of my ribbon, my evening evergreen ribbon today. So we'll have to do it without ribbon, but I do have some embellishments here that we can put on. So let's put some dimensionals on our sentiment and put the sentiment maybe right here. And we might as well use this on the bird as well. And put him there. Now, I think you might not be able to see this. I think I'm going to take, this is Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to take some Wink of Stella and just kind of do the belly of my bird, just to give him some shimmer. There we go. All right, and then these are the opal rounds, opal gems that are in the in colors. So these were in the annual catalog. I've used up, gosh, a lot of them. They come in all of the in colors, but I have some pale papaya left. So we will use, given the fact that I used some pale papaya on my bird, we'll use some pale papaya on here. There we go. Now, I think I cut a piece. So let's just take and stamp the bird on the inside. Since I don't have any designer series paper, let's get the bird going the right way. I think it'll be like this. So I'm going to just stamp him a little bit off. Oops, not very straight, but that's okay. Just to have something on the inside of my card base. This feels like it's a little long. It is. I'm going to have to trim this. So this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4 to go in the inside. So that's, okay, it was the right width, just too long. And you can use whatever adhesive you want. I just happen to have the liquid glue there. And then this can go on the inside. So I always hold it with 2 fingers because when you're using liquid glue, one of the great things about liquid glue is that you can kind of shift your pieces around. It's a little bit more forgiving than your Stampin' Seal, but it does shift. So I tend to hold it with 2 fingers so that it doesn't shift as I'm trying to press it down. All right, there we go. So there's my card. Now let me bring in. Oh yeah, Nancy will watch the replay for sure. So there's my sketch. It's somewhat similar, but that was my, inspiration with the green and the bird. The bird looks very similar. So like I said, the pictures really are just, something to give you some inspiration. And you can use them however you want to use them, whether it's, really literal, like as I stamped a bird and had the green, or whether it's just the layout. Because thank you very much, Kay. You could have absolutely done something where, the branch was a piece of, designer series paper or cardstock in a different color going up the middle as part of a layout. So don't be afraid of picture challenges, and take some pictures yourself when you're out and about, or look for pictures, because there are all sorts of very beautiful pictures appearing in social media. So grab one of those and use it to create a sketch, to create a card or a project. It doesn't have to always be a card. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to take a look at this Perched in a Tree when it is available next week. When the new catalog. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm making Christmas cards already, and it's only just June. I just feel so early to be thinking about Christmas cards. All right, everybody, I will be back live on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and then again Sunday at 12 noon with some projects for you. So I hope you'll join me then. If you did come in through YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get notified when I go live. If it's the first time you've joined me, welcome, and thank you so much for following me. Thanks everybody else who follow me, and my regulars who join me from Facebook. All right, everybody, thanks for joining. Happy stamping. Bye.